Hi everyone, welcome to another video of Don't Be Average. In this one, you will see top 10 interview questions and answers for data analyst roles.
Till I wear the crown.
Question number 1. What is correlation coefficient and how is it interpreted? The answer is correlation coefficient measures the strength and direction of the linear relationship between two variables. If you have two factors, for example, you have height and weight, or you have hours of sleep and you have shoe size, any other combination of two variables like that, if you want to understand what is the relationship between them, are they linearly related or not, that question can be answered by calculating the correlation coefficient between these two variables. Now, correlation coefficient can be positive, negative. Positive correlation means that the two variables are positively correlated, which means if one increases, then the other also increases. Negative correlation means if one increases, then the other one decreases. And no correlation means if one increases or decreases, it does not have any impact on the other variable. So we'll also see the examples of all these three scenarios. In the first case, we have plotted height and weight, and we can see the scatter plot is having a direction like this. This is where we can say that it's a positive correlation. And that also aligns with our knowledge about these variables, that if height increases, there is a possibility that the weight will also increase. Now the second scenario is where we are trying to see hours of sleep versus tiredness. Now if tiredness increases, which kind of implies that you've got less hours of sleep, that gives us a scatter plot like this, and a scatter plot like this also indicates negative correlation. Now in this case, there is no prominent pattern between the variables hours of sleep and shoe size. A scatter plot like this actually implies that there is no correlation as well. Question number 2. Can you explain the difference between a left join and an inner join in SQL? Inner join returns only the rows that match in both tables being joined. So if we have table A and table B, the inner join which is shown here is actually only containing the rows that are common between the two tables, and it is ignoring everything else. But in case of a left join, it returns all rows from the left table and the matched rows from the right table. So it will have all the entries which are present in the left table, and it will have the entries which are matching with the right table, but it will not have any records which are present in only the right table and not in left table. Question number 3. What is the difference between descriptive statistics and inferential statistics? Answer. Descriptive statistics summarizes and describes data, while inferential statistics make inferences or predictions about a population based on a sample data. Now what does it mean? Let's say you go to a classroom full of students, 30 students, and then you are trying to understand what is their average height. So you take the measurement of their heights and you create the mean of all these measurements. That is a descriptive statistics. This average is a descriptive statistics. But what if you do not see all these 30 students? Let's say you see only 5 students from this class, and you are asked to talk about the whole class's height based on these 5 students' height. So you are trying to infer about the population of 30 students based on the sample of 5 students. That is why this is called inferential statistics. Next question. Explain the concept of normalization in databases. So we'll have multiple tables in a database. We can do different kinds of normalizations. You can see it here. The process involves understanding the primary keys, understanding the relationship between all the tables, and then you can take a call on which normalization technique would be the best for your database. That's how you can reduce the redundancy across your database. Question number 5. What is the purpose of a pivot table in data analysis? Pivot table is a data summarization tool. It is used in spreadsheet programs. It allows you to rearrange and summarize selected columns and rows of data to obtain useful information. There was a time when pivot table was only limited to spreadsheet and Excel, but now since it's a very popular tool, it is also introduced in programming languages like Python and R in different ways. It's basically a way of aggregating your table and looking at it at a summarized manner. Here on the right, you can see some examples of pivot table. Question number 6. Explain the concept of outlier detection and its importance in data analysis. Outlier detection is the process of identifying data points that significantly deviate from the rest of the data. For example, let's say you are trying to look at the data of income of a set of people, and all the income for the most of the cases, it ranges between 30,000 rupees to 60,000 rupees. But suddenly, if you see a number like 5 crore in that data set, that is like an abnormal observation, and it is quite possible that it has been introduced due to some human error. That data point would be called an outlier in that data set, and we have to handle it in a way after learning how it got introduced. Question number 7. What is logistic regression and when is it used? Logistic regression is a statistical method. It is used for predicting the probability or possibility of a binary outcome. So if something has an outcome like yes or no, true or false, 0 or 1, that is the use case when we can use logistic regression. The way it is trained is using one or more predictor variables and also label data of those binary outcome. In this visual, you can see how linear regression and logistic regression are different. Question number 8. Describe the process of data cleaning and pre-processing. So data cleaning is a part of the data pre-processing step. Sometimes data pre-processing also includes data transformation, data reduction, dimension reduction and all that. But if we talk about data cleaning, majorly it involves steps like finding irrelevant data, finding duplicates in the data, finding noisy data, also finding incorrect data types. For example, if you are looking at a date column, if something is having a format which is different from, if a row is having a format of date which is different from the rest of the rows, and you are planning to use that date column for your analysis, you may have to fix that. That kind of a cleaning you have to do in the data cleaning step. Then there is missing value handling, of course, and also multi-collinearity handling. Question number 9. Explain the concept of A/B testing and how it is used in data analysis. A/B testing is a method of comparing two versions of a web page or an app or any other product to determine which one performs better. Question number 10. Write a Python code to calculate the mean of a list of numbers. There are inbuilt functions for calculating the mean, but in case in the interview we are asked to write a user-defined function for that, this is how we can do this. So these were the top 10 questions for the interviews of data analyst role these days. There are other playlists in this channel where detailed answers of each interview question is being discussed. You can refer to those. If you have any questions, please use the comment box, and see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.